interest and how someone with such limited journalistic skills came to be the face of the worldwide leader in sports. Stephen A. Smith released a memoir in 2023 called Straight Shooter. I read it. It's farcical. When I listened to Cat Williams talk about Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey, my mind immediately drifted to Stephen A. Smith's memoir. Smith's story just doesn't add up. He, or his ghostwriter, claims he received a full basketball scholarship from Winston-Salem State after a one-day tryout in February of 1988. When I first read this book, it was so farcical and so, I was like, hey, what's going on here? Who authorized this? Who's writing this? Who thinks this is believable? And picks him up on a Saturday. They drive all day to North Carolina, check into a hotel, and on Sunday wake up, and this is I'm gonna read 1.5 points per game. How do you average that in one game? Is there a 1.5 pointer in Division II basketball? How do you do it? It can't be done. See, it can't be done. It's comical.
Jason Whitlock. I said that name. It's not a name I've uttered. I normally don't do that, but it's necessary to do now. I've had enough of that fat bastard. That piece of it. And I want to make sure that before I go to break, I want anyone out there who watches me, anyone out there who knows me, anyone out there, no matter what you think of me, I want you to remember, I never talk about him. I never talk about my colleagues. I don't do that. This is a first. But it's necessary. And when I say don't talk about them, I don't mean don't talk about them literally. I don't get in on them like I'm about to do now. I literally called my pastor and asked for his forgiveness and understanding in advance because he's not going to recognize the person he's about to hear. I did the same when I emailed the bosses at ESPN. This is my podcast. I own and operate this. I do what I want on this podcast, but it doesn't mean that I still don't harbor a responsibility to at least give my daytime employee.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I guess the myths that they've been saying online is a real thing now, because the Cat Williams effect is full-fledged part of the algorithm for chaos now. As you heard yourself, Jason Whitlock said, I was watching that Cat Williams interview, and I guess he got inspired to go at some niggas also and look into some things. And I had a link in the description where you can watch the clip from the Jason Whitlock show in full and Stephen A. Smith say he going in tonight. And I ain't gonna lie, Stephen A., you should have just went in without giving the announcement. It would have turned up even more, just keeping it all the way 1,000, because it would have been out of nowhere. As him and Jason Whitlock have had past issues last year. If you don't know Jason Whitlock, he the type of nigga that he's a real journalist and stuff like that went to school and worked and wrote on different networks and wrote in columns and stuff. But he kind of seems at times he specializes in getting under niggas' skin. Well, last year when Stephen A. Smith went at him, he called him a fat bastard but didn't say dog name. And he made it clear he wasn't talking about Marcellus Wiley, who had just critiqued him. So everybody kind of knew what he getting at Jason Whitlock. So that's why Jason Whitlock say, nigga, I'm going to go at your whole memoir as I think that this whole story is a lie. And we listened to it in full, lady talking about his basketball career, his whole storyline. He said Stephen A. Smith is a fraud, a plant. He talked about his injury. He just talked about everything, nigga. You ain't really make no basketball team like that. He breaking it all down word for word. Said, I don't think this is true. How you average 1.1 in the game? Well, y'all heard what Stephen A. Smith say. I'm mentioning you by name now. And he said he taking it all the way down through there. He called him a piece of shit. Like, hey, is he going to be on this show cursing now, calling nigga all out of his name? Is he going to get it to some pressure? And I feel Stephen A. Smith, that nigga put your book up on his show and broke it down for word by word. He said, look at the book, telling what niggas to question you at, what you saying, questioning your whole grind, calling you a plant. Meaning, hey, nigga, you got put up and set up in this position to be in the spot you in, to get the paper you get, to get the notoriety you get, and your position in the game and things like that. So, nigga, you got to go full throttle and address that and crush that nigga on the first name basis. True, you is shedding light on him, and you is bringing him up to your level when you say his name. But certain times, nigga, you gonna have to say a nigga name. That just is what it is, nigga. Me, I'm the type of nigga, I probably would have just went on ahead and said, let that nigga say what he say. But y'all gotta know Stephen A. Smith, he want a little bit of that Cat Williams effect right now, too. He understand he got his own independent platform outside of ESPN and Disney, so he want to turn up just like Shannon Sharp did. That's how the game go. Jason Whitlock look like he don't want to squabble with nobody. Stephen A. Smith don't look like he gonna squabble with nobody. Both of these niggas is older, so you know what? I'm here for all this nonsense and BS between these two niggas. I'm gonna sit back and watch the show, nigga. I've got my feet kicked up. We ready for it, nigga. It is going down in a major way. I'm watching this. I want all the BS, all the nonsense, all the smoke. He came at Shannon Sharp, I think Shannon Sharp last year too, with a little something. Hey, anybody else want to jump in on this train? Y'all niggas go at it. All the sports analysts, media personality, if it's pressure, ain't no point in sugarcoating no more. Go ahead and pull the wool off. Let y'all niggas have it and diss each other all day. We gonna sit back and talk about it. The algorithm for chaos. The energy been set for 2024. This ain't gonna bleed over to nothing in the streets like it would with rappers and members and people for that. This gonna be pure entertainment. We get entertainment outside of the entertainment. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all at 1000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.